正在强劲的开启。可以说，我们的公司成果其实，正如 Tesla 开启了汽车电脑化革命一样，我们的目标是成为引领汽车智能化新时代的先锋。BYTON 致力于打造最纯粹的、最面向未来的智能电脑汽车。今天我们又会给大家详细的介绍我们在本次 CES 上展出的两款车型 ，BYTON K-Byte Concept 概念车和我们的 BYTON K-Byte 概念车轿车。相信大家也能从这两款车的名字上感受到强烈的数字力量。命名是灵感来自于 BYTON 的英文平台名 ，BYTON 代表 Bytes on Wheels， 轮子上的字节。未来 BYTON 电动车平台上的产品都会是用字节 BYTON 来命名，体现下一代智能终端。
Present their next generation smart device DNA. And now I will hand over to Henry.
So the most unique and prominent feature you have noticed already, it's
our innovative user interface. Because we think that echoes perfectly what Steve Jobs said a decade ago, that a revolution of user interface will change everything. So just like the iPhone completely put the entire mobile phone industry upside down, we convinced that we have to interpret this strategy in the automotive industry. So with the BYTON user interface concept, we're aiming to provide the most future-oriented user interface in the industry. The BYTON is equipped with 4 displays. So the most prominent one is the so-called shared experience display. So it's a coast-to-coast display containing the main information. Then on top of that, we have the driver tablet. So direct in the field of vision, it's the first time that we have a display integrated in the steering wheel. So the driver is not being distracted by looking down and has the driver has everything in the direct field of vision. On top of that, we have 2 touch displays in the rear, because in a BYTON, every single seat is equally important. So on every single seat, every single user has its own display for the relevant information sharing. On top of that, it's important to us that the user interface is based on simplicity. That means some of you prefer touch, some of you prefer voice, some of you might prefer gesture already. So this is the reason why we are integrating all 3 forms of user interface to make it as convenient as possible. And based on the concept we developed already, I can promise you it will be very, very easy to use, because we believe this is key, as I said, like an iPhone. So we replaced the traditional center console with a coast-to-coast display. So this is the unique user interface looking like. So by replacing the coast-to-coast, by replacing the center console, we are also providing a huge space in the front of the car. That means we are also providing rotating seats. So in the autonomous age of autonomous driving, you can rotate the seats, you can stretch the legs, and then you can consume the relevant content according to your preferences. So these are the dimensions. It's 1.25 meters wide and 25 centimeters high. So it's the first 49-inch display in the industry, and it's important to recognize that we are the first manufacturer who is going to go for a mass production, so industrializing this device, this display with an automotive grid. So based on this display, of course, we were also confronted with many questions, and it's important to us that we apply safety first. So it's very important that we apply all the automotive safety requirements in order to meet all global requirements. Because the BYTON will be available globally. The first market is going to be China, followed by the United States, and followed by Europe. So it's important to us that we apply all mass production standards in order to be able to market this concept worldwide. So as I said, safety is key, and as you can see, it would offer a large potential in terms of driver distraction. So this is why we applied all the safety relevant features in order to make sure that it provides all information you need for driving instead of providing entertainment while driving, of course. So let me share with you some safety related features. So as you can see, the SUV sits below the bonnet line, so perfectly integrated into the dashboard, so that's granting the front occupants a complete view of the car's surroundings. It sits at an ideal distance and angle of the driver's eye, so to improve his perception of the road and enhance the experience as a driver. And as I mentioned, so the driver display in the direct field of vision, so no distraction to look down, to be distracted by anything, so everything is remaining in the direct field of vision. So when you see here, so the adaptive user interface, so right in front of the driver, so you have all the driver-related information. So you have the display, so here these surroundings you see, these are going to be the cameras, the rear view cameras, so you have everything in your direct field of vision. Of course, everyone has a different height, so of course everything can be adjusted, that you always have a perfect view on these screens on your first panel containing all driving information. On the right-hand side, you see then we can adjust the information according to the situation you are in. So in the situation you are self-driving the car, for example, we can use the entire panel 2 and 3 for navigation. In case you are in the future in the autonomous mode, of course we can use this screen also for entertainment, or of course when the car is stationary. What's also important is the brightness feature, because of course when you see it in the full brightness, it would distract you, it would blend you. So this is why the car will the display will automatically adjust the color grading. So if you drive into a tunnel, or there are clouds, or it's pure sunshine, or if you're in the night mode. So as we know it already from cars today, the display will adjust the brightness according to the situation where you are driving. So, and on top of that, of course, we are applying safety when it comes to the display itself. So we use a soft silicon-based bonding coating, so that prevents the display from shattering in case of accident. And in addition, the anti-reflective coating avoids excessive smashing of the display, reflection of the display. Sorry. So. And with these safety features, with these application of details, we are going to meet the 5-star crash testing. And in order to do so, of course, we are also integrating the highest airbag standards. And as you can imagine, by having the display in the steering wheel, we had to come up with a completely new airbag system, because the airbag has also to be integrated in the steering wheel. And usually you just have the airbag and not a display on top. So we were able to integrate the driver tablet, and below, in a very compact packaging, we were able to integrate the driver airbag, and in the hopefully unlikely case of an accident, it explodes, and then it covers the entire steering wheel and driver tablet, so that also the driver is perfectly protected. So this is what we are currently developing in the industrializing. We are currently applying the first crash tests. So the so-called homologation process is running in order to meet those legal standards prior to the launch, which is going to take place in China end of next year, and in 2020 in Europe and the United States. So since our first M-Byte, so the first car which, as Karen said, we launched it at the CES 2018, so at the CES Las Vegas in January. Our coast-to-coast display, of course, created a lot of buzz, a lot of discussion. And what is pleasing me, that those people who we invited to sit behind the steering wheel, to check it out themselves, to sit in the car themselves, were quite surprised that you have this perfect field of vision. And I just invite you to test it yourself. Maybe we cannot grant access to anyone here in this hall to our car, but please come over to our stand and check it out yourself, because just by looking at it, looking at the dashboard, you see the proportions. I just can tell you, you have a very, very good feeling, and due to the big size of the screen, the navigation information, it's even much more convenient. And due to the fact that artificial intelligence is coming down the road, and much more information are going to be shared together with navigation, we think it's much more important that we have a bigger screen to share all those information without being distracted by looking at a small screen. So we are quite convinced that those people who tested already are sharing this positive response with us.
所以在保证安全的前提下，共享全面体可以用最直观的方式显示驾驶需要的内容，同时也为第三方内容和应用开启了无限的可能。你再也不需要开车的时候把手机拿出来，这也是我们自己给自己定的一个标杆。因为说实话，现在很多车满足不了很多消费者的需求。很多人在开车的时候不会用车载导航，他们会把自己的手机拿出来放在那。所以我们一定要说，车要变成智能终端，驾驶者以后再也不需要把手机拿出来。目前我们正在和百度共同开发适配BYTON交互界面的导航功能和百度 AI 驱动的车载语音助手功能。导航是最常用的车载应用，也是目前大多数厂商重点开发的功能。然而，因为有了共享全面体、驾驶员接触屏、语音助手、面部识别、手势控制这些多维度的交互界面，我们可以把导航的
体验提升到
to a whole new level to offer the most advanced and intuitive navigation experience on the market. We have created a video to demonstrate this unique experience, and here we want to share this video with you. Hey BYTON, when is time my date for Andrea with Andrea? Hey, I think your date with Andrea was an hour ago. You should call her now. Certainly.
Andrea 宝贝，对不起，都是我的错，我以为是明天呢。
哼，
你在哪儿，宝贝？
我正凄凉的一个人走回家呢。某人忘记我们的纪念日，害我在电影院一直等。
对不起，宝贝，我现在来接你好吗？
好吧，给你个机会，看你表现了。我分享位置给你。
我马上飞奔过来，等我啊，宝贝。必须选最快的了。
我们将于15分钟后抵达 Andrea 所在的位置。
好饿啊，希望他也还没吃饭。这块这么多插座，嘿，BYTON，用 AR 导航吧。
嘿，BYTON。
Andrea， 还好吗？
所以你这是要带我去哪儿呀？电影已经快演完了。
我想带你去吃日料大餐。
哼，几个寿司就想收买我的心。
BYTON，看看附近有什么日料餐厅。
这是你附近的日料餐厅。
BYTON，赶紧想办法帮我哄 Andrea 开心。
按最佳餐厅排列。
哼，贿赂我可没用。
不试试怎么知道呢？出发！天哪，我都要吃到嗓子眼儿了。BYTON，你帮我们开回家吧。
开启自动驾驶。
BYTON，放我们刚错过的那部电影吧。
播放今晚的电影。
纪念日快乐哟，亲爱的，下次我一定好好准备。
小视频里大家可以看到，因为有了这个大屏，我们真的可以把 AR 导航新起点对新机完美去展现出来。所以这种体验会跟
传统这种小屏。
And this sort of experience will be completely different from the experience that you get from smaller screen. Either you drive it yourself or you use autonomous driving, the experience will be quite unprecedented. What you just saw is not just a concept. Our production card is going to turn all these ideas into reality. In addition to basic functions such as navigation, BYTON delivers enhanced in-car offerings and applications. And they include my office, my activities, my health, my entertainment, and more. It keeps you connected all the time and enables you to make video calls with many friends and family, or have a conference call with your colleagues. Moreover, each of our users will have an exclusive BYTON ID. Facial recognition will automatically lock the user into their account when they get in the car and sync up all the personal information at the same time, say the information on their phone. BYTON also features sophisticated AI technologies and machine learning capabilities, so the car becomes smarter every time you use it. By analyzing user data, the car can take care of the user's mobility life like a smart housekeeper. In the age of autonomous driving, the value of BYTON's user interface will be fully realized. So we can say that BYTON is tailor-made for the age of autonomous driving. The 2018 World Cup kicks off soon. Fans around the world will lock their attention on their beloved teams. But imagine, what if a game is showing while you're driving? You can switch on autonomous driving mode and watch the game on your car. In addition to its tech-savvy features, BYTON is also a reliable and eco-friendly electric vehicle. We know very well that range and charging are of critical importance to all customers. BYTON's batteries are supplied by the world's leading lithium battery manufacturer, CATL. We've finished the Series B fundraising, and CATL has become one of our shareholders. The future production versions will offer two range options, 400 and 520 kilometers, which is a round-trip journey between Shanghai and Hangzhou. In fast charging mode, the battery charges 80% in just 30 minutes. We will provide users with home charging solutions. We're also partnering with service providers and operators to guarantee that when we go online next year, there will be hundreds of thousands of public charging piles out there. Now let's welcome Hendrik again onto the stage.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now are you looking at our new beauty? We just celebrated the world premiere last night here at CES Asia, our BYTON K-Byte Concept. So this beauty is based on our own BYTON EV platform, as you have just seen in Daniel's presentation. So here a more technical close look. So on this platform we will be able to host different models. So starting from our first BYTON M-Byte, which we presented in January at the CES in Las Vegas, and now the BYTON K-Byte presented just last night. So, and I don't know what kind of character you prefer. I never consider myself driving a sedan, but when I look at this beauty, I have the feeling that this is representing the most modern, the most progressive, and the most future-oriented three-box design in the world out there. So I could consider myself driving a sedan first time in my life. So, of course, we are quite proud that this is the first time, maybe go back to the image, because I think it's worth looking at it again, because the design team did a great job by translating our design language from our first car into this one. Because as you can see, it has a very, very sleek design language, and we are also integrating our first own design equity, for example, like our BYTON blade in the front containing the brand name, so and with a reduced number of lines so that it has its own identity. So this own design language we apply in the first one and the second one, and we are of course keen on moving on and defining the new standards in automotive car design in the industry. A design language which is reflecting luxury, premium, but at the same time also sportiness and technology. So what was of course a big challenge for us with the design team was the integration of the LiDARs and automotive grid standards. But first of course we started to find the right proportions, because the proportions, they need to be right, otherwise it will never look beautiful. So this is why when we designed the EV platform, BYTON's EV platform already, we made sure that we are always ending up with the most beautiful proportions. What does it mean? A car needs to have a good stand, so therefore a good width. So we are having this with 1.95 meters, so it has a very good stand. So then, on top of that, it has a very good long wheelbase. So we are talking about a wheelbase of 3 meters. So, and then, with a very short overhang in the front and in the rear, it will always come across very sporty. Then, of course, you want to have a very low shoulder line and a very low body, because as a sedan, it needs to be sleek and very, very sporty. So this is why we are happy that we're able to achieve a height of a little bit less than 1.5 meter, even though having the high battery package underneath, perfectly protected between the front axle and the rear axle. So a very sleek and modern design language and very well-balanced proportions. The C-pillar, as you can see, contains also a nice little detail. It's our side glider. And this side glider has also a very aerodynamic function. Why is aerodynamic so important? Because especially for an electric vehicle, it needs to be as aerodynamic as possible, so in order not to minimize range. So this is why we have this aero effect in the M-Byte already, and now in the new interpretation also integrated in the K-Byte. What we also developed further is our so-called smart surfaces. So the smart surfaces we are having already in the M-Byte integrated, and they are giving us the opportunity that the car can communicate with the outside world. For example, you're driving the car in the autonomous mode, and then it can communicate it to the outside world. And this smart surface we integrated here in the next level, so you have this beautiful 3D effect, because we have a bit more space in the front in comparison to vehicles with an internal combustion engine.
希望大家喜欢我们这个第二辆车。基于下一代
智能终端的产品定位。
Product positioning of a next generation smart device, BYTON is the first company to propose a stylish yet realistic integration of autonomous driving technology based on a real package of sensors. The BYTON K-Byte Concept perfectly integrates the latest elements of autonomous driving, such as the LiDARs. It demonstrates the digital power of BYTON in a vivid and elegant manner, and it results in a sedan that is both beautiful and practical. Now, as we often see, autonomous driving cars in road tests usually carry a lot of sensors on the roof, like carrying a pen. We are different. We don't carry that pen. Firstly, we integrate the front and rear LiDARs in a graceful and slender module on the roof. As you can see on the picture, it's just like a slightly curved bow, and we call it the BYTON Libo. These 4 leaders can perform a 360-degree full-view panoramic scan of the vehicle's surroundings. Secondly, a pair of retractable leaders are equipped below the side view cameras, and we call them the BYTON leadguards. One on the left and one on the right. They look like 2 high-tech guards. Under autonomous driving mode, the BYTON leadguards extend and deploy to ensure driving safety. However, for manual driving or parking, the BYTON leadguards will automatically retract. And worth to mention that the leaders can even light up in different scenarios, which can be used as a signal to the pedestrians. In terms of autonomous driving technology, BYTON is joining hands with world-class partners to deliver industry-leading autonomous driving solutions. Currently, BYTON has partnered with Aurora to develop the L4 autonomous driving solution. By the end of 2020, BYTON and Aurora will have a fleet of prototype vehicles with L4 autonomous driving capabilities, and we will be testing these vehicles to prepare for volume and mass production. In China, we are exploring cooperation with Baidu and other industry leaders to provide Chinese consumers with localized autonomous driving functionality and experience. Our mass production sedan will be launched firstly in China in 2021. And the first car will be launched in the latter half of next year. And about 1.5 years later, the mass production sedan will be launched. And worth mentioning, all product will be launched firstly in China, and in a short time, we will export from China to North America and Europe, both for SUV and sedan. And now I will give the floor back to Henrik.
So, ladies and
gentlemen, we have just seen our vision of the future of mobility. And so please allow me to briefly introduce the story of our young brand BYTON. So we founded the company in 2016, and in 2017 we got the first injection. We closed our first A round in 2017. In September, on September 7, we launched here in Shanghai the brand BYTON, and a brand rooted in China, designed and developed for the entire world. Then, on the next day after the launch, we celebrated the groundbreaking ceremony of our plant, which we are building in Nanjing. And then in December, we opened our North America headquarters, which started its operation in the Silicon Valley. As you all know, it's one of the most important technology hubs in the world. In January 2018, this year, our BYTON M-Byte made its stunning debut at the CES in Las Vegas. It was clear to us that this was the right platform, because our car is not just an electric vehicle, it is the next generation smart device, and therefore it was clear to us, Gary, that we do it at the CES, at the most important consumer electronic show in the world. In April, we launched now the M-Byte, and also here we are pleased to do this here in the right environment, because here we are surrounded with people which are sharing with us this authentic interest in the future of technology. So therefore, also from my side, thank you very much for the great stage which we had yesterday, and I hope you will visit our booth which we are having here at the CES. Also this month, we just opened our Nanjing headquarters in Nanjing. So Nanjing is our home, and this is where we have our R&D center and where the plant is being located. So also this is worth visiting for those people who are living like me in China. So this is the timeline so far, and now I have to see the next slide, please. Here we go. So our brand rooted in China, and as I said, we have the global global headquarters in Nanjing. In Shanghai, we have the global the design team China being located, because also the K-Byte was rooted in China. The design development of the BYTON K-Byte took place in Shanghai. And as Benoit said last night, for this car, it's like a homecoming. In Beijing, we have all our colleagues from the external affairs team located. In Los Angeles, we just opened a new studio which is dedicated for the advanced user interface design, dealing with the user interface demands of the next century. And in Santa Clara, we are having our UI UX designers perfectly working on this software development, which is very important. In Nanjing, we are currently establishing our first our plant. And it's going to be on the highest quality standard. So this is the most modern car plant, going to be the most modern car plant in the world. It will be perfectly integrated, so also that the user can follow the process of the development of its own product. It's quite a spacious area, so it provides us enough space so that we can build a plant where we can build up to 300,000 units per year. So don't get me wrong, that's not our annual capacity in the first year. My colleague who's running the plant is with me. I think you agree with me, Mark. So not for the first year, 300,000 units, right? So we'll ramp up to this one. But of course we want to grow and we want to sell the product globally. So this is why we are building a plant which is able to cope with this volume requirement. We just invited some of the media. Maybe one of you was also joining us there this week. We just finished our trial shop. It's also new in the industry, so we just have built a trial shop where we can test and validate all manufacturing processes. Why do we do this investment? We want to end up with the highest quality standards. And this is why we invest in this trial shop where we can try in every single detail in terms of manufacturing process. And I would like to share with you a film which is showcasing what is taking place in this trial shop. Thank you. We are building this beauty. So in October this year, the construction of our stamping, welding, painting and assembly workshops will be ready to hand over to begin equipment installation. In the first half of 2019, we will enter the so-called pre-production phase. Preparing for mass production is like fighting a war without a gunfire. So we are running a very, very fast race, and the entire team is keen on meeting this target because we are convinced that we are perfectly on track. And so in order to meet the start of the mass production end of next year already. Of course, in order to do so, you also need a little bit of fuel to run the engine, or in our case, a little bit of electricity to run the engine. And this is why we are also quite pleased that we just finished our B-round funding phase. So the next injection just came in perfectly in time with $500 million US, and this will enable us to keep on running and to meet the timeline just explained. Our major investors include also, as you can see, FAW, and this is of course for us a great partner. So the first China car company, so very, 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 very experienced when it comes to high quality production standards. And of course, with their cooperation, we look forward to develop very, very good content. And so that's, besides other investors, a very, very strong one, which we are very pleased to have on board. So now I hand over to Daniel again.
当然，对我们是非常重要的里程碑，对任何一家。
B-round financing is a mileage of our company. For a startup, financing is always the top priority, and we believe this round of financing gave us a lot of valuable partners, and perhaps we are the first automobile startup that is financed by a traditional automaker, and I believe this is a very good thing, a good news for us. Even though we want to build the next generation smart terminal, but still our product is a car, a vehicle. And car is different from mobile phone because car is related with safety. So a good quality car should make great use of the capability of the existing traditional industries. Therefore, we are talking about cooperation with the traditional industries in development and manufacturing. And BYTON has technology, product, capital, and plans. And we believe these are the essential 4 must-haves for an automobile startup. Henry just shared with you our production progress, and now I would like to introduce the progress of our brand store. We have already decided to use direct sales. Our first BYTON brand store will be built in a prime downtown location in Shanghai, Taiguhui. The BYTON brand store will completely disrupt the conventional dealership design. When designing a traditional dealership, the OEMs mainly think about how to better display the products and to promote sales. While designing the BYTON brand store, we started from scratch and completely adopted a consumer's perspective. We asked ourselves why consumers would visit the store. What type of experience would make every minute truly meaningful for them? Following this approach, we determined the 5 functions for our stores: to know, to explore, to social, to learn, and to own. Starting from these 5 points, we designed various functional areas for the brand store. Our philosophy is each minute, each step. This means that each step customers take in the brand store is designed to deliver value. We won't make them take any superfluous step because every step has to be entertaining and of great value. Similar to BYTON cars, BYTON brand stores make use of the latest cutting-edge technologies. We use technology to provide a better user experience. For example, BYTON users can log into the brand store by scanning a QR code or through facial recognition. And we use augmented reality to show the hidden technologies embedded in our products, such as the card, the body structure, and the battery. We use VR to provide a test drive experience, presenting various usage scenarios, including those that might be difficult to experience in a real-road test drive. And we use simulators to demonstrate the advantages of having a large screen and multi-dimensional control so that people are able to experience our products without sitting in a show car. And we use an online video conferencing system to allow consumers to communicate face-to-face with our engineers and designers in Germany, United States, and Nanjing. To give everyone a sneak preview, at this year's CES Asia show, we set up a VR experience area. It will also be available in our brand stores in the future. Now let's watch a video clip for an example of that VR experience.
And someone lead, whichever way they go, well, that's alright by me. I've seen
是不是很酷？
Isn't it cool?
我们的上海品牌店
We will launch our first BYTON brand store in Shanghai in the fourth quarter of this year.
首先在中国先出品
We will launch our brand stores first in China.
在中国
We plan to open 25 to 30 brand stores in China before the end of next year, mainly in first and second tier cities. Later, we will also open stores in major cities in Europe and North America.
后续落地的过程
For the continued rollout of the brand stores, BYTON will use a hybrid model with retail partners.
会确立流程
BYTON will define the processes and standards and will act as the direct contracting party for consumers. Our retail partners will be responsible for providing infrastructure and personnel and will run our brand stores as agents.
大家可能跟 Tesla 看到的差异
This model is different from that of Tesla
中国市场
because we believe that
主要3点一定要非常好
good retailing in China involves better understanding of the local customers in order to provide better services.
模式，这个体验店的模式
So that's why this
是一种创新。
brand store model is a sort of innovation. We will adopt the best retail agent, but the experience mode will be tailor-made by ourselves and offered by ourselves.
Let's go through the key points we would like to share with you here today. So,
We want to be the spearhead in the auto industry in the era of smart mobility. BYTON is building the most futuristic smart electric vehicle. We call it ourselves the next generation smart device, which is meeting the highest quality and safety standards to be marketed worldwide. The BYTON K-Byte Concept, just presented yesterday, made its debut, and I would like to invite you once again to join us, to visit us at our stand here at the CES Asia.
BYTON 逼龙融资已经顺利完成了，共计5亿美元。我们位于南京的工厂
正在全力建设中。
Construction is in full swing. Prototype vehicles for various testing purposes have already rolled off the line at the trial workshop, and by the end of this year, we'll hand over about 100 prototype vehicles. BYTON will open its first brand store in Shanghai in the fourth quarter of this year, and plans to open 25 to 30 brand stores in China before the end of next year.
very much for your attention, for joining us here at this keynote, for giving us this
Stage. Once again, thank you very much to the CTA for a great CES, and we look forward to seeing you at our stand here in this great show. Thank you very much.